What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 25 of The Rise of a Nation, here with FC Edmonton in the Canadian Premier League. Yes, we are back once more, and it is what feels like the biggest episode of the series so far. 2 knockout games today, 2 separate competitions, both first legs. And, part 2 to both of those will be coming your way next time. But we have to start here on my profile because... good news, a new contract has been offered and signed that takes us through to 2025, £3,500 a week. Obviously fantastic for job security. I sometimes simply see people ask, why should I not just take the smallest wage possible in order to help out with my, my finances at the club? And the reason is, basically, it makes it way easier to sack you. If your job value is valued lowly, if you have a lower salary, there is less compensation to be paid if they want to terminate your contract early. So new contracts are always good, so we have that going on there. But besides that, nothing's new. Nothing is new. It's been 1 week since we were last here. Of course, it was for that memorable win over Vancouver. And we're back again today to take on Olympia, the Honduras side, and also Montreal. I was looking at Olympia here. You can see they've got one player in Luis Reyes. We looked at him before, but just to remind you, he looks a little bit scary. But I was actually just looking through their history. How have they done in this competition in previous years? And you can see they have history and they have pedigree. They lost in the semi-finals last year to Alajuelense, of course, a team that we know rather well. You'll notice that they did also get to the North American Champions League off the back of that to start this year. So this is a team who are competing at a level of international football and continental football that we're kind of striving towards. The year before that, you can see they lost in the qualification round to Real España. And the year before that, they lost in the qualifying round again, this time to Santa Tecla. So they're a team who we have to be fearful of. We have to show them a degree of respect. But at the same time, I really do want us to go out there and play our own game. So both this game and the game that we've got coming up against Montreal are both at home. For today's game, there is no squad restrictions. There is no foreign player rules. And so this is the team we go with today. Keeping faith in Connor James in goal, hometown hero. The guy who I thought might one day be future captain, still only 8 leadership. Maybe it'll get to 9 once upon a time. But you can see around him, to make up our defence, we've got ABZ playing left centre-back. To the right, we have Oyamada, and in the centre, of course, Liam Fraser. It really has been a passing of the torch from Soria to Fraser this year. You can see Soria kind of falling away as a player just a little bit. If we just compare him with Fraser, you can kind of see the difference between them here. Fraser just kind of has him beat in every regard besides the defending department. And actually, I feel like that's where Oyamada and ABZ really shine. So in a back three, we have 2 players either side who are proper, tough centre-backs. They're the traditional centre-back that you envisage. And then between them, we've got more of a ball player, modern, centre-back. Anyway, centre defensive mid, we're going to go with Acevedo for today's game. It's another game for him, of course. He's only recently joined us. If you missed last episode, you won't know about him, but he was a free transfer we brought in. I really like the look of this guy. I hope he's going to prove to be the kind of player who I envisage he can be. Anyway, out on the left, good news is Kay is back from injury. Lovitz is also back from injury, but only good enough for a spot on the bench. Kay here recommended 75 minutes tops, so the chances are that him and Lovitz are going to get swapped around. Of course, both these guys, players who are probably our best 2 left midfielders between them, but have both been out for a little while. Out on the right-hand side, we have dilemmas, and it's a big call, and I'm still not sure I feel comfortable with it. Of course, last episode we saw Ruiz leave the club, and the player we kind of brought in as a roundabout replacement, I kind of scoured the market, there wasn't anything great, was this guy, Malik Johnson. And I kind of brought him in thinking, yes, he's Canadian, that's a nice big plus because of the foreign player rules. But he doesn't have the quality. So the call here is to play this guy, Karata, ahead of him. Now, Karata, not as good crossing, not as good passing, but everything else about Karata's so blooming good. I feel like we just have to give him a go here. So it's a live com debut for him. A bit of a venture into the unknown. For the under-21s, he's been doing superbly, and next year, when we have a few international player slots come up, he will almost certainly take one. But in this competition, with that not being a factor, he gets the nod. Mora and Marshall going to play alongside each other. In the centre of the midfield, two players who are very much on the same wavelength. And up top for today's game, unfortunately, Hamilton, who has been in form, is out of a small injury, a tight groin. Don't really want to risk it, but he is on the bench if we need him to. That means it is Daly and the Duck. That sounds like the name of a band, doesn't it? The Daly and the Duck. But yes, it's these two guys leading the line for us today. They have a good understanding. They've played alongside each other a lot. Let's see how they shine today, shall we? It's a big game for us at home against a team who are pretty good in Olympia. Of course, Reyes the man to keep an eye out of, but around them they've got this guy Palacios who looks very, very rapid. Looks like they're playing quite a narrow system, which might work quite nicely with our current team. Just flicking through their team here, they've got real talent. Maybe lacking a little bit in the wide midfield department. I feel like our formation matches up quite nicely against theirs. I don't feel like there's too much of a risk of our fullbacks, or not our fullbacks, but our wider centre-backs getting overloaded, by players in the wide areas. So with that in mind, I think we do go into this game as potentially favourites. I wish I'd paid more attention to that. I imagine we are the favourites, I feel like we probably do have the better team on paper. Paper doesn't win a football match, though. Let's get off to a good start here. Clean sheet would be ideal with the away goals rule, of course. There's 2 legs. The second leg will be coming your way next episode. I have also got to have one eye ahead to the game against Montreal. It's in 3 days' time, but this competition absolutely has to take priority. Karata here. What can he do? What can he do? Oh my gosh, if he'd scored then, I just walk away and think, why have I not registered him for the league? I could still register him for the league, but he would take up a foreign player slot. Literally, the only things I dislike about him are 5 crossing and 5 passing. If those were just a tiny bit higher, I'd look beyond them. I mean, he's got a chance, I guess, here to show us what he's made of. Look how small he is. He's so cute. Look at him go. He whips in the ball. There's the 5 crossing on show. And there it is. We'll keep an eye on him. Number 32. He's so tiny, bless him. I just want to hug him. Make sure he's okay. Anyway, it's not really been a classic start to this game so far. Half an hour gone. It remains 0-0 here. A game, though, that you'd have to say we're very much in control of. And Karata, can he put in a ball of quality here? Back post, Marshall's there. Karata, my friend. What a ball that is by Kazunori. I love his name. It's just a nice name, isn't it? And Marshall with the 6th goal of the season. He's popped up with some big ones today. Well, not today, but this season. Marshall, back post, keeper in no man's land. We take the lead against Olympia. Of course, if we can win this game, we'd reach the quarterfinals of this competition, the North American League. And in reaching the quarterfinals, we know that if we win the quarterfinals, we're through to the North American Champions League. But even if we lose it, we still have a game to play to get there. So we'd be in a kind of double elimination situation where we just have to win one of 2 games to get through. Anyway, I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy after that first half performance. Yes, we've completely dominated them, which is how we like to approach things here at Edmonton. We like to control the ball. We like to seize the initiative and remain solid at the back. But we could do with a goal or 2 more to make this dominance count. Marshall, what a free kick effort that was. Not the conventional placement of a free kick really into the bottom corner, but it almost caught out the keeper. Duck whips it in here. Mora gets a good head to it, but just not quite the direction, unfortunately. My concern really here is that we're dominating the game so much, but we've not quite found the breakthrough just yet. And now Marshall, he's picked up an injury. That's not good. What are we saying about this injury? Potential arm injury. That's probably not as bad as other injuries, assuming it's not a broken arm. We'll bring in Deshays, advanced playmaker. It's the hometown hero, a product of our own academy. He has made a few appearances in this competition already. Nick Daly's been pretty poor as well. I'm wondering about bringing in Karata and then bringing in Chung on the right. Caden Chung is not the standout right midfielder by any means in this team, but he's always done okay for us. He says, no, you know what? Edwini Bonsu. Edwini Bonsu is the better option. I've decided. Anyway, Deshays on off the bench. Free kick hits it. It bends a lot. The keeper spills it. Defender has to bail him out. Going to try and demand more from the players here. Karata now plays natural striking position. Deshays has now picked up a knee injury. It could be a twisted knee. That is not a good injury to get. I really wanted to take off Anthony Kay in this game. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to now. I wanted to take him off and bring in Lovitz. But he's going to have to play the full match, which is not ideal. Bit of a risk there for Kay, because we were only recommended to play him for 75 minutes. But Lovitz is going to come in. Kay and Mora just shuffle around in the midfield just a little bit. Could really do with another goal here, boys. Duck. Can he whip it in? It's headed clear, only as far as Oyamada. Puts it wide now to Duck. Can he get it in? He does. Edwini Bonsu's there. Post denies us. And it's hacked away for another corner, is that? It is. It feels like it's coming, but we need a goal with 15 minutes left. Given how dominant we've been, I mean, a clean sheet would be ideal, but it feels like there's another goal in this for us if we really push for it. Part of me wants to go more attacking. You know what? I'm going to, and the reason I'm going to is, as much as I am a little scared of counter-attacks, because we play a free at the back system, going on more attacking, the centre-backs still stay there and very much anchor the team. You know, they're not going to go forward with a change of instructions. Really, we're going to be looking at Ace Vado maybe to get a bit more advanced. As Mora has an effort. Just wide of the post. Olympia, you'd have to say, holding on here right now. They will probably be relieved if it finishes 1-0 here. They've done absolutely nothing. One last set piece maybe, collected by the keeper. It finishes 1-0 here, which is a great result. The clean sheet at home is amazing for away goals. It means if we get one goal against them, they need 3. Given how we played in that game, though, I feel like we could have done more. That's the concern, I guess, as much as anything. We could have done more. Marshall's out for 5 to 6 weeks. Deshay's out for a shorter period of time, thankfully. Karata's agent wants him to get a new contract. Right, let's have a look at this, Karata, because you're not on a lot of money, to be fair, right now, but there is no minimum release clause going in your contract. If you break into the Japan national team, yeah, sure, you can go up to £800 a week, but I want you on a longer-term deal. He does not want the longer-term deal. Longer-term deal. There we go. £700 a week. He's definitely worth it. He's really, really blooming good, is Karata. Like, as a striker, he'd be superb for us. I'm still wondering if it's worth trying to squeeze him into our squad registration. Now, normally I'd cut out the bit between the 2 games, but with it being only 3 days, you know what? We'll just go on a live com adventure, shall we? It's episode 25. We'll do something a little bit different for it. Of course, that Olympia game to start next episode comes on deadline day. I wonder if we'll be doing much more in the way of business. Marcel Ruiz, how have you done since you've gone to Lyon? Not very well is the answer. 6.55 average rating for them. It's not great for the young lad. So I believe that this competition uses the squad registration of the league, and so for that reason, Karata is not going to be able to play in this match, unfortunately. So we'll move him out. I'll bring in Malik Johnson, I think, to start. Marshall being out is a bit of a shame. Mosavat can come in and be the beneficiary there, though, at least for this upcoming game. Ace Vado struggling a little bit for fitness. We could bring in Solomon for him. I'm just a little bit wary of foreign player rules here. I think we might be pretty close to the limit. ABZ's doing well in training. To be fair, he's always doing well in training, is this boy. Oyamada's doing well. I mean, these 2 centre-backs, Oyamada and ABZ, they are the future of this team. Carlos Mora also doing well. It's all the youngsters, all the players who I'm putting high hopes in, who right now are shining, which is nice to see. Anyway, Canadian Championship semi-final. Mossa, that's improving. I mean, it's all coming up Millhouse. He's going to get a chance to play against Montreal as well. As long as we can go into the second leg being competitive, I'd be happy here. Player fitness is a little bit of a concern. Kay is still struggling. Lovitz is actually fit enough to play the full game. So you know what? We'll welcome him back to the first team. Am I over the foreign player limit? I don't think I am. With Ruiz moving out, it's kind of opened up new opportunities, and Marshall's also not playing. have got a few injuries. Vim is out injured. I've not really talked about this, but he's out with sprained knee ligaments. You can see that really has impacted his physicals. And also Bill, who was looking ever so good for us. He twisted his ankle and he's out for about a month with that. So a few little injuries festering on in the background. Hamilton's back, so I'll tell you what, we'll give him the nod ahead of Duck. Is this the team I want to go with? You know what? I think it is. I think this is the team to see, hopefully, us get a good initial performance here. It's not going to be easy, but we've already claimed 1 scalp. That does make me feel like Montreal might be a little more aggressive. They've got Pogba's brother at left back. I panicked for a second thinking it was the Pogba. They've got Fink, who's a regen at centre back, alongside Bueno, who is another regen. They're pretty good, aren't they? They've got a few more in the midfield as well. The regens always just catch my attention just to see how good they are. He looks very good, actually. Ranzato, Canadian, youngster, scary. Up top, they've got Abila, who he's good, isn't he? That is terrifying. What is that lighting? It's like he's put a torch underneath him to do a jump scare. And they've also got Boselli. What is it with all the Canadian MLS sides just going nuts with Argentinians? Anyway, we are underdogs. That is without a doubt. Let's just cause an upset, boys. Cause havoc. You did it once when we won 4-0. Let's do it again today, shall we? Obviously, we want to avoid injuries as much as anything else because that next leg of the North American League being in 3 or 4 days' time is a bit of a concern. The fixture congestion does get a little bit bad. I'll be honest, the Canadian Premier League right now, massively on the back burner. Not even thinking about it currently. Anyway, 0-0 after 26 minutes. You know what? I'm kind of happy with that. Maybe I'm jinxing it by saying that. They don't play a system with super wide players. They have kind of their fullbacks, it looks like, who provide the width for them. So we have got to be a little wary of them. But, oh, speaking of the devil, it's Heinz Ike to whip the ball in. Boselli, the referee, has looked over his assistant who's given a foul. Never a foul. Never. Disgrace. Who is number 9 for them? It's Abila. What can you do, Connor James? What can you do when they come for you? Go the wrong way is the answer. Unfortunately, it's that scary. He's scary. I don't like that picture with the torch underneath him. 1-0, Montreal. Wasn't really in the script. An away goal is, well, it's bad, but you can't go into every single home game over 2 legs expecting to keep a clean sheet. Although, going into this, we had kept 2-2. Now another set piece to deal with here before half time. We can't afford to go another goal behind. Hader spreads the ball to Boselli. Plays it back to Heinz Ike. Can we try and win the ball here, or do we need to focus on staying defensively firm? Saunders, Price. We're applying pressure to them. They've got just this small trio of midfield, and now it's Pogba. Whipping it in. Abila hits the woodwork. Fraser just hacks it out just about. We've had more possession, but without doing a great deal with it. Right now, Montreal do look like perhaps the better side here. At the break, though, only 1-0. Show me something else. Okay, Liam Fraser's looking stressed. Right, now he isn't. We've had a little word with him in private. He loves it. Now can we bounce back? I've just got to keep an eye on player fitness as well. That's my other concern here. Mora's struggling a little bit. You know what? We'll take off Mora and we'll bring in Acevedo just to try and build him up a little bit of match sharpness and match fitness as much as anything else. I want to try and win this game, don't get me wrong, but the continental competition has to be the priority. I want to be in the North American Champions League in January, and we are close, well, closer than we've ever been before to reaching it. After the first leg performance. Anyway, ball played forward. ABZ reads it and takes the ball down really nicely. Now with Fraser. Back with Connor James. You can see they're pressing pretty high up the pitch here. Let's not do anything too crazy. Connor James puts it wide to Lovett. Dinks the ball down the line to Hamilton. Where is Daly? He is in the box. Deflected cross. Almost ended up in the back of the net. In the end, it kind of gets spooned out for a corner. Johnson to take it. Whips it in back post. that is going to go out for a throw-in, but I feel like with that the danger has passed, and indeed it has, although another highlight immediately. Lovett tries to cross it. Why is Lovett taking the throw-in there? Have I got him on throw-ins on the left side or something dumbly? I'm going to check that between this and next episode, because he should not be over there. Oh my gosh, the spin on the ball keeps it in. Heinz Ike, boxed in his own area, goes back to the... That's not a kind back pass. The keeper does well to deal with it, and now they are breaking forward with men. Abila, oh my gosh, they have so many options, and it's Marzio Ranzato who smashes it into the bottom corner. At this point, is it worth just going more attacking? It probably is. Let's bring in the Duck. Mossavat's had a really poor game as well, so we'll bring in Deshays for him. It's one hometown hero for another in the centre of the midfield. They've punished us on the break here, just all over the place in the defensive transition, caught out with perhaps a few too many men up the field. They grab a second, and it feels a little bit harsh. Yes, they've created more clear-cut chances, but I feel like actually, for the most part, we've gone fairly toe-to-toe with them here. There's always the risk that we go more attacking now, we leave ourselves exposed at the back, especially if we defend like that. Graceman picks it up. And that's his 7th of the year. Pogba's brother with the assist, official name, Pogba's brother. It's not ideal, is it? It's not ideal. I think it's ABZ who's just not quite paid attention. I do wonder if tweaking the defensive width might help with that kind of situation in terms of ensuring that that left centre-back just stays with his man. Anyway, they've switched now to a 5-man midfield. 3 goals up, they've decided they are just going to park the bus. We've kind of got to go more attacking here. Might leave us exposed at the back, but we need something. Ace Vado whips it in, back post, hits the woodwork. They head it away. Oyamada, can he keep it alive? He can't. Oh, we've had chances. We've not had great chances. I feel like 3-0 really flatters Montreal, but well, we're going to have to do our utmost to try and bounce back. A goal here could help us massively. Deshays, what can you unleash for us? Dinks the ball through to Daly. Can he finish it? Oh, how has that not gone in? I thought he dribbled it into the keeper's hands. The keeper spilled it. Then the shot itself was blocked and went just wide. That was the best opportunity of the game for us. Still ping-ponging around in their area. I feel like we're extremely unlucky not to have found a breakthrough in this game. Unfortunately, I think that is going to be all she wrote here. And it doesn't matter how unfortunate I think we've been. Ultimately, the scoreline does not look pretty. Perhaps a little bit of a crashing down back to reality. We know that we have to go to Montreal, and to stand any chance of going through, we need 4 goals. Or 3, and then extra time and penalties. But 4 goals, realistically. Well, next episode's going to be a cracker, isn't it, with the 2 games that we've got set up. The North American League we look good in. That game against Olympia is going to be massive. The game against Montreal, on the other hand, we very much have it all to do. And with Marshall's injury, it's going to be maybe just a little bit of a concern, because he has been an imperative part of how we play. 4 to 6 weeks out means that realistically he is going to miss the next 8 matches minimum. I'm curious actually. Let's just get to the 1st of August real quick. I want to see how our finances look for the previous month. You know, how much money are we making? How much money have we lost? Obviously the Ruiz loan deal means we've got even more money than ever coming in via loans. Of course, while all our other games are being played, the Canadian Premier League rests for no one. It is still being played here. You can see Pacific and Valor drew. York beating Cavalry, who currently sit rock bottom. We have only played 3 games. Everyone else has played 4 to 6. So it's difficult to read too much into that. Karata signs a new contract. That is great news. It's the 1st of August. Game. What money did we make last month? If we go to income for last... Can I see a total anywhere? I can't. Well, that doesn't really help, does it? I was hoping that we could see the income and outcome alongside each other, but you can only see this month now. I mean, you can kind of see here, it's gone up by about 90,000. So financially, big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. Also, our wage budget's really, really big. I appreciate that, board. Clearly, they rate the job that we're doing. You can just see here, in terms of the income from players, it's crazy the amount of money that's coming in from all those loan fees. Also, gate receipts are looking very, very healthy. Obviously, if we can stay in these competitions for longer, they're going to continue to look healthy even more so. There's just lots of reason for optimism right now. You can see actually total income last month was 1.1 million. Total expenditure last month was well, you can see here 927,000. So that's pretty good. That's money in the bank, 180,000 almost. Hopefully, that can now be consistent through to the end of the year. And when you consider the loan debt and stuff that we're already paying for our stadium and such, it's impossible not to be happy about that, isn't it? I mean, you can see a stadium still being built, still happening. I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. Anyway, folks, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. Next episode's a big one for us. Make sure you do tune into it. It's going to be the conclusion to both the fixtures we kicked off today with. And, well, that is going to be all from me. I'll see you guys soon. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.